Hello, good evening. My name is Alyssa Myrick, and I am the Prevention and Community Collaborations Department Manager with the Center for Health Innovation. It's lovely to be here with you all tonight. Thanks so much for joining in. Welcome to Prevention Live. Prevention Live is a weekly bilingual series focused on key topics aimed at preventing youth substance use among Southwest New Mexico communities. So I really would like to encourage everyone to get into the chat, throw us some reactions on Facebook. Just let us know what you think about this topic. We think it's really important. We'd like to engage with you about it. So please throw some comments, questions in the chat, and a staff member will get on there as soon as possible and talk with you all. And we're really looking forward to hearing what you all have to say about this. So let's continue our focus on youth alcohol misuse. Last week, we talked about how alcohol consumption affects a developing brain, right? So youth brains. We will be highlighting the legal consequences of providing alcohol to minors tonight, so anyone under the age of 21. So we're not going to cover all of the consequences, but the big one is going to be a felony charge, okay, for providing alcohol to minors. So it is a 4th-degree felony to provide alcohol to minors. What does that word actually mean? The word felony sounds scary, but do we actually know what it's like to be convicted of that and what the consequences are? So let's start by diving into some quick facts, okay? We're going to explain a little bit and really dive into why you do not want a 4th-degree felony. All right, so what is a felony in New Mexico? A felony is any criminal offense that results in a sentence of imprisonment for a year or more. Felonies tend to be crimes that involve an element of violence or are considered harmful or dangerous to society. There are 4 levels to felonies, with one being the most severe. So now that we know what that felony is, let's talk about a 4th-degree felony in New Mexico. What does that look like? So in New Mexico, a 4th-degree felony carries a maximum sentence of 18 months in prison and a fine of $5,000. So to help kind of quantify that $5,000, I looked this up. You can feed a family of 5 for 5 whole months with $5,000. And if you get caught serving alcohol to a minor, all of that money goes away, right? So just to kind of give you all a little bit of context about what other 4th-degree felonies are in New Mexico so you can gauge the severity of it, those other charges can include things like aggravated assault or involuntary manslaughter, so very serious, right? So let's shift back to youth alcohol use. Like I said, giving alcohol to a minor is a 4th-degree felony in the state of New Mexico. But what exactly does our law have to say about this? On your screen right now, you're seeing some condensed wording from New Mexico's alcohol legislation regarding providing alcohol to minors. So as you can see, this language is extensive and it covers selling alcohol and allowing alcohol consumption by a minor at a business location that has a liquor license. So that's what we call on-premise and off-premise sales, right, in the business arena, not in the home. So we do have the laws about that. We also have laws about buying alcohol for a minor, giving alcohol to a minor, and helping a minor to buy or obtain alcohol. So if all of that is still a little bit fuzzy, let's just walk through some scenarios that would kind of help to wrap your head around what this could look like. So let's say you're bartending, right? And you've got a friend that comes in and they're over 21. They're there with their underage sibling and they're really pressuring you. Come on, man, give my little brother, my little sister a margarita, whatever. So you do it and you know you shouldn't, right? You can definitely get caught with that. There are enforcement measures in place where you can get caught with that, and you can not only cost the business a lot of money, you can cost yourself a lot of money and end up with that 4th-degree felony conviction. So another example, so you're a parent at home, your 17-year-old son is having 3 friends over for the weekend. You responsibly enjoy an alcoholic beverage when you're with your friends from time to time, so it doesn't come as a surprise to you that he asks you to buy them alcohol for the weekend. So you think, yeah, sure, why not? My parents did the same for me when I was underage. At least if they do it here, I can keep them safe, right? Last scenario. Your little sister is going out to dinner with her friends and asks to borrow your ID so she can get some drinks. You decide to go ahead and give it to her. What's the worst thing that can happen? She's only 2 years younger than you. She looks exactly like you. She can probably pass for 21, right? All of these scenarios break the New Mexico alcohol laws for providing alcohol to minors. Now that you've got some real life scenarios and you've seen some of the language for the law, let's dive into some consequences. So what actually happens if you get that conviction? So this is the first of two, it's a very long list of the things that can happen to you if you are convicted of a 4th-degree felony. So you lose your right to own a firearm. And I'm speaking directly to everyone who pulled a deer tag or elk or whatever this year. That is not good, right? Definitely don't want to lose that right. You don't want to lose your right to vote. You can also lose the ability to hold public office, which I know some of you are like, I would never do that, but we never know what the future holds, right? You want to at least have the ability to do it, or join the armed forces. There's also a lot of jobs from local, state, federal government, right? So you don't want to have that 4th-degree felony on your record because you can't get those positions. And that goes for private sector sometimes as well. There's a lot of organizations that just cannot hire individuals who have a felony on their record. You can lose your professional licenses. That there are several different licenses that you could have that may be taken away, suspended, or just the inability to obtain them in the first place. So the next, the list goes on. So it also affects your ability to get student loans, scholarship, federal student aid. I'm talking to you, my college young adults out there. I know that it doesn't seem very harmful, to give your 20-year-old friend alcohol, but truly you don't want to risk it. It's your future at stake. It could affect your admissions to college. For those of you who maybe have a permanent resident status, you could still get deported if you're convicted of a 4th-degree felony. You can lose the ability to receive government funds, including food stamps, be a part of the Medicaid program, right? Insurance, food security, things like that. I know some of us sometimes are like, I'm never going to need that. I'm fine. But look what happened with the pandemic. None of us saw that coming, and many of us were reliant on those systems just to survive. So you definitely don't want to jeopardize that. You also could lose the ability to receive government and other contracts, right? So there's a lot to keep in mind here. And with all of this, we ask you, please don't pour your life away. You do not want a 4th-degree felony. All right, so in closing, please follow these Southern New Mexico prevention programs for more important information on how to keep your family safe. We have a lot of great presentations coming up for you, and we'll be doing this through the month of July. So Prevention Live is brought to you by the Center for Health Innovations, Prevention and Community Collaborations Programs in Doñana, Grant, Hidalgo, and Luna counties, and key partners at the Otero County Prescription Drug Overdose Prevention Program and the Club of Sierra County. Please join us next week when we dive a little bit deeper into some ordinances. So they're not felonies, but it's an ordinance that helps to prevent underage drinking. We'll give you a lot more information on that. That's coming at you by Chief Ordonez of the Anthony Police Department, and we really look forward to seeing you. We are hoping that you're enjoying these presentations, and everyone have a safe week. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.